I'm sorry.
It's too late.
I hope I never see any jerks again.
Don't go away, man. Just go away.
What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster. And what do you call it when a company does something stupid, refuses to apologize when they get called out, and then, after a week's worth of customer backlash, they finally give a half-hearted apology, using a media mouthpiece to spin it all in their favor?
That is some weak-ass bullshit.
Sucker Punch, as everyone likely knows by now, has been in some extremely hot water over the past week or so, ever since the Charlie Kirk assassination happened and one of their employees made jokes about it. Sucker Punch has since fired that employee, but they didn't announce anything about it publicly, choosing instead to contact the gaming outlet Kotaku, who hates anyone that doesn't bow to progressive woke politics, and then they turned that article into a smear piece against the cultural right wing, as if it's everyone else's fault for calling Sucker Punch out.
Oh, I see, it's my fault, is it? Oh, of course, now I've seen the light. Well, I must be punished then, mustn't I? You're a naughty boy, Don't do it!
Naturally, this did not sit well with people, and for the last week, gamers have been calling out Sucker Punch and their upcoming game, Ghost of Yotei. Every trailer that they've put out gets crushed, including this one here, which just dropped on the PlayStation YouTube channel yesterday. This Hunt Begins trailer was released at first on only IGN's channel, and it was promptly ratioed on there, but on this channel, they're already at a dead split of 12,000 likes to 12,000 dislikes. It will almost certainly be ratioed soon. Every time that these clowns put something out these days, they have to look back on it and think,
It was a disaster!
and that brings us to the kinda sorta not really an apology that was just put out by Sucker Punch. I say it was only kinda sorta an apology for 3 reasons. Number 1, and we're gonna read it in a minute here, but the language that the Sucker Punch studio boss used was as wishy-washy and non-definitive as anything you will ever read. Number 2, they once again declined to make a direct public statement via social media, and instead they used a former Kotaku journalist to transmit their thoughts to the public, and naturally, the likes of Kotaku themselves promptly used this opportunity to smear gamers that they don't like. And reason number 3 is that it took Sucker Punch a damn week for gamers to drag this apology out of them. That doesn't strike me as someone who genuinely means it. That strikes me as someone who just doesn't want to be hated.
I want you guys to like me, and you look at me like I'm a freak.
That is correct.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We have been gathering up a bunch of new space pirates lately, so most of you know what time it is. It's time to ask,
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
we now have 153,000 space pirate a-holes in this pirate crew of ours, and as is the custom on this channel, with every 1,000 subscribers, I add a new ship to the fleet in order to house the newcomers. This time, one of you said that we should add the Sith Infiltrator, aka the Scimitar, which is Darth Maul's ship. Hopefully, he doesn't come looking for it or anything. In the meantime, though, if any of you have recommendations for future ships, drop them into the comment section and I will add them to my long list. Super chats get sent to the top of that list. Also, for your reference, I will be adding an alphabetical list of all the ships in the fleet already to the description of this video. But in any event, I thank you all for being here, and I will do my best to keep earning your viewership.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Anyways, let's have a look at this so-called apology that Sucker Punch has finally made. We are going to read about it in this article here on the website Kotaku, which I will not be linking in the description of the video because I refuse to send traffic their way. Now, before we read it though, I just gotta say that it helps when analyzing anything that these people do over at Sucker Punch. It helps to remember that they have it in their heads that their actual audience for Ghost of Yotei was not just your normal, everyday gamer who doesn't buy into their wacko death cult progressive politics. No, they were aiming this game at the modern audience. That is why they decided to replace Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima with a girl boss samurai and hired the lunatic Erika Ishii to play her. That is why they hired the sort of developer who would not only glorify and make jokes about someone harming Charlie Kirk, but would feel comfortable doing it on a public forum. And that is why there was no immediate apology and condemnation of violence forthcoming right after they fired their employee, because the thing is, these goons at Sucker Punch know damn well that condemning what happened to Charlie Kirk is essentially them severing their ties to the leftist shitlibs they were hoping to attract with this game. Also, keep in mind that the reason they used Kotaku and then a former Kotaku journalist to filter their message to the public is because, once again, their real target audience is the modern audience. Once you realize that, every shifty little action that they've taken makes total sense. But anyhow, let's read what was said in this article. It says, for the last week, a war has been waging in the YouTube comments of each new Ghost of Yotei trailer as the PlayStation 5 exclusive nears its release date early next month. It's been a pretty one-sided war there, my dudes. I have shown you guys this sort of thing a few times already on this channel, but it isn't a war in the comment section of these videos for Ghost of Yotei. That implies that there's some level of back and forth. No, this is a bloodbath, not a war. But of course Kotaku would frame it that way, anything to protect their corporate benefactors. But anyways, reading on, it says, that's because a developer at Sucker Punch Productions joked about the assassination of Charlie Kirk on social media. Sony confirmed it had parted ways with the employee following a right-wing pressure campaign, but declined to issue any further statement. Now, studio head and co-founder Brian Fleming has commented on the firing directly in a new interview. The next paragraph then tells us the messed up crap that their employee said originally, but we've covered that before, so let's skip past that to this here. Probably the least convincing apology and condemnation of violence that I have ever read. It says, the facts are accurate, Fleming told Stephen Totillo's GameFile when asked about the situation. Drew's no longer an employee here. I think we're aligned as a studio that celebrating or making light of someone's murder is a deal breaker for us, and we condemn that kind of in no uncertain terms. That's sort of our studio, and that's kind of where we are. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that does not come off as someone who is sincerely sorry that they employed someone like that in their studio. That comes off as someone who is merely sorry that they were caught doing it. Look at what he said again. He said, I think we're aligned as a studio, and then we condemn that kind of in no uncertain terms. How do you kind of do something in no uncertain terms? If you kind of did something, then that is definitionally uncertain. But then he says, that's sort of our studio. That's kind of where we are. You can tell that these words tasted like acid on his tongue. The dude did not want to say this because either he is a true believer himself in this woke progressive shit, or because he knows it will drive away their target audience. My guess is that it's a little bit of both, but the thing is, it really shouldn't be hard to do this. It should not be difficult to simply say that you condemn violence. For example, I'll just say that I'm not a big fan of Joe Biden. I thought he was a terrible president, and I think he's a shifty and untrustworthy person. However, I don't wish any harm on him. I wouldn't even wish for him to stub his toe or anything like that because I don't like pain and suffering for anyone. And I certainly didn't celebrate when we found out that the guy has cancer. Now, you see, that wasn't so hard. I didn't use any wishy-washy language. I used simple and direct statements. But the thing is, I don't think the apology was the point in the first place, or the condemnation of violence. That wasn't the point. I think these guys want their message filtered through the game journalist lens as a means of narrative control. I mean, look at the next paragraph that Kotaku wrote. I think this was the point. It says here, despite Harrison's swift firing, angry internet users urged on by clout-chasing culture warriors like Mark Grums Kern have been demanding Sony take action against any staff members who may have liked or reposted Harrison's comment, while also targeting other companies and their employees over potential anti-Kirk sentiment. Well, they're only mad because finally the consequence culture is aimed in the opposite direction. For years, we watched shit like Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's. He was pushed into retirement after these same troglodytes came after him for simply donating money to Republican candidates. That was all he did, was donate some money and believe things that the likes of these Kotaku stooges find unsavory. But like I said, I think that these articles written by Kotaku were the reason that this interview was published in lieu of a direct message to fans. They want to color perception for the masses as best as possible, and the dude's fake-sounding apology was about as non-committal as anything I've ever heard. I don't buy it, and as far as I'm concerned, it's too little too late. Ghost of Yotei needs to flop, and flop hard. But I'm gonna leave it there. Was this apology enough to sway you? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.